Hey, this is Brock with Straight Line Delivery, and I wanted to make a video with some answers to questions I get from people who sometimes write in or email, call, and people will ask, is hot shotting still good? Can you still make money in hot shot right now? And this is being filmed in October of 2024. My answer is yes or no, one of those, depending on how you run it. From what I've seen, let me fix this here. From what I've seen, there's a bunch of different ways to hot shot. And I've been doing this since 2011. And the best way I know to do it is the way I do it. I've been asked about, do you have guaranteed loads? Do you have certain routes you take? In a sense, we do. Meaning, you can have all the guaranteed freight that you want, but the minute that company slows down, then you don't have guaranteed freight. So what I do is I have a list of customers that I have in different cities, and it sort of outlines where I go from Milwaukee to Pennsylvania. That's kind of the main stretch, and then we'll stretch it out sometimes to Minneapolis, and then over to New Jersey, Baltimore, that kind of stuff. But generally speaking, I've got people that I work with all the time in those areas, so that when customer A that's based out of Chicago sends me out to central Pennsylvania, I know I've got customers in Pittsburgh, and I know I've got customers in, Philly, Baltimore, New Jersey area to then get back into the normal route, because not every customer that has freight for you has freight for you every single day. And I think that's the biggest takeaway I want to give from making this video. A lot of people will say, hey, I've got this guy in my town, he says he ships all the time. And what I've noticed is when guys, I've had customers, in the town we operate out of actually say, hey, send me 10 trucks tomorrow, I'll keep them full. And I said, well, why don't we send a guy over there and see how things go, and then I can send you more trucks as needed. I've done that so many times, and yeah, sometimes he'll fill up 2 or 3 trucks for a week or two, and then it sort of starts to fizzle out, because what you've got to understand is just because somebody's telling you they've got tons of freight, that's coming from their mind, their perception of their job. You might have a shipping manager that's highly wound or just stressed in the moment, not seeing what will things be like in 2 months, 6 months, a year from now. Are you just feeling stressed right now because you're behind and you can't really keep somebody busy? I think too many guys go out and buy trucks and trailers based off the information of, 1 or 2 companies near their town that says, yes, we've got freight all the time. What does all the time mean? I really would encourage you, before you get into spending any money, find out how many truckloads go out of there, okay? Now, I've gone and I've developed those relationships. I've talked to those people. I've secured freight from the people that have freight, they think, all the time. It might be 1 or 2 loads a day. But here's the crux. You've got to be able to get back to the towns that have freight all the time, right? So the best way I've found to do that is to have a dispatcher, a freight coordinator, who can say, okay, it's Monday, your truck is here. We're shipping it here Tuesday. Now, what's that gonna mean? Well, you're in your truck. My customer that has freight all the time, supposedly, is over here, and you're way over here. You need to get back to that area. The only way to do that is to have a good, experienced freight coordinator. And that doesn't mean a business who has dispatchers kind of hanging out for 8 hours a day that don't really know what they're doing. I could make my mom a dispatcher tomorrow. She knows nothing about trucking. So what would that do for you? Pretty much nothing. You need to be able to get out to somewhere where you might be 300 miles away from somebody who has been giving you freight for years, and you need to be able to get back. That is the catch. You've got to be able to get back with money on your truck. And if you don't have experienced freight coordinators, like the way we run my company here, if you don't have that experience, which you can't get it, and you can't learn this job in a month or two, or even be proficient at it in 6 months. It takes years of doing this to understand how freight works. Where's your truck? What day of the week is it? When do you need to be home? How much are you particularly comfortable hauling? And how much money can we get out of this by the time you drop off? Can we get 2 loads on that day, or do we need to find 1? Do we need to, have a sacrifice fly, or can we load up 2 loads and go past that customer and go on to the next one? There are so many moving parts. And when I'm talking about freight, I'm talking about 40-foot Hotshots. We work with everything from 53-foot flatbeds all the way down to 40-foot Hotshots. So that's a Class A CDL, a F350 or a Chevy 3500 style truck with a 40-foot trailer. Most guys use mega ramps. That's what I'm talking about. We've booked and worked with contractors and guys that sign on with me that have equipment every size in between there. 40 foot is our minimum. But the real catch is signing on with somebody who knows how to get your truck out of those they're in the middle of nowhere. Between Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania, or Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, there's not a whole lot going on. That's a turnpike. There's not a lot of freight there. So when they want you to deliver out to the middle of that, how will they get you back to your next piece? And that's what you guys really need to focus on if you're getting into this. I always have space for somebody who's hardworking, has their own equipment. So if you're somewhere that's just not quite getting it done and you're looking to make a change, get a hold of us. I'll put my info at the end of this video. We've got an email, an office phone. Feel free to reach out. You can comment on this video. If you're just not quite getting what you want, call me. Even if you don't want to work for me, I don't want to see anybody small lose. There's plenty of millionaires that work with billionaires, and they're going to be fine no matter how slow the economy gets. It's the little guys I like to help because I'm a little guy myself, and I don't want to see anybody fail. So even if you have no intention of working for me, reach out. I can usually answer some of your questions and kind of get you on the right track, just to make sure that you're perceiving the information that you're getting properly from the people that you're thinking about working with. That can make a decision where you decide, yes, I'm going to do this, or no, I'm not. And that can save you a ton of heartache and money. Thanks, and have a great day.